Hey friends, we're so excited because we're here at Chesapeake Boat Basin in Kilmarnock, Virginia, and we are looking at the 33 Outrage by Boston Whaler. It's a classic, and I'm excited about this video. We got a couple people that I think are awesome that are going to be our subject matter expert today. We got Caleb Benelli, who is one of the sales associates here at Chesapeake Boat Basin. And then, of course, we have Clay Holcomb. He used to own this location, and now he is the operations manager, and he has got more experience and knows more about boats than most of us have forgotten.
We hope.
And so we're going to talk about this Outrage. It's a fascinating boat. It's a popular boat. So let's start with this question, and we'll do ladies first here, Kayla. I'll start with you. So if someone, if you had to say, someone said to you, like, who's this 33 Outrage for? Who's like the perfect person that's looking at this? Because I know you've told me about your experience. You sold a lot of boats, especially over the last year. Who would you say is perfect for this boat right here?
I would say your fisherman would be the perfect candidate for this boat. Mostly people who are trying to take it offshore and kind of go out into the ocean. It's easily customizable for a lot of fishing options.
Yeah, so she is the fisherman's or woman's dream boat right here. Yeah. And so this is, it's that classic center console seems to be a big focus. And you said something to me, Clay, that I thought was interesting. And one of the things we're going to talk about in this video, we're going to talk about who's this for, who's it not for. We're going to have an honest conversation, and that's what you want as the viewer. But you said to me, there was something about this boat for you with your experience that was just different.
So we've sold several different models over the years, okay? The different brands, Yeah. And Boston Whaler is the one we've definitely been with the longest, and we absolutely just love the brand. But every now and then, a manufacturer will put out a boat, a certain model, that literally is it's perfectly balanced, is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
I've had some other manufacturers I've sold that may sell that, and it wasn't planned, it just happens. It just, the weight distribution from bow to stern, the amount of degree of dead rise, the horsepower weight of the motor, everything just comes together right.
Yeah.
This 33 is that boat. It handles like a dream. It comes out of the water easy. It's great in rough water. It runs very flat, which makes it nice. Anytime you can get a boat to run flatter and keep that aggressive V of the boat in the water,
that's right.
It's going to want to punch through the wave instead of jumping over it. You get a lot of boats that can be very similar boats, but just a couple feet shorter, and they'll get hoppy, okay?
Yeah, you start doing the porpoise and all that.
The bows just get light.
Yeah.
And when that happens and you hit a wake, the boat tends to want to fly a little bit. It wants to kind of like jump up. And that just happens. It's nothing wrong with a boat. It's just some models do that.
Looks cool on video, not so great for the user experience. Right?
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. But this boat just hit that mark. This is the one that I've owned personally in the past. I've had it 50 miles offshore. I've had it in the bay. I've taken the boat all over the place. And it's my favorite boat that they build, personally.
Your favorite Boston Whaler boat.
They build bigger ones that do more stuff, and it's a different class, but this is my favorite model just because of how it runs, and it's just a dream to drive.
Yeah,
it is.
That's pretty cool to know, especially from someone that's actually owned it, which makes a difference. Let's talk about the specs for a second, Kayla. In terms of length and width on this one, I'm guessing it's 33
foot 1.
33.1, and then the beam, I think you said, was 10
foot 2.
Yeah, 10.2. All right, 10.2. So this particular model, what do we have on here? Is it 2.3?
This is going to be the 300.
Yeah, 300s. Are there other options that we have on that?
Yeah, so you can get the twin 300s or the twin 400s with and without joystick piloting.
Okay. All right. So we've got the options. You said something to me, Clay, that I so agree with. And if you're watching this, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but I don't see the need for, and some people are going to watch this and make some silly, ridiculous comment in the comment section, which is fine if you do that, by the way. But I don't, when I'm offshore, we're rarely ever even wanting to go over 30 miles an hour in most cases. Right? And so in your mind, for you that's owned this particular boat, if you had the choice between the 3 and the 400, what's going into your thoughts there?
So if I was buying this boat again, and back when I bought it originally, we didn't have 400s. They weren't an option.
Yeah.
So now they're out. I've driven boats with the 400s on it. If I had to rebuy this boat again today, I'd still put the 300s on it. And the reason why is you're not going to gain but so much speed. So you're really going to gain a little bit on the top end.
Okay.
What are we going to get? I don't have the specs in front of me, 3-4 mile an hour.
Yeah, I was going to say probably 5 or 6 times.
It's not a lot.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, this boat will run 50 plus miles an hour easily, but when can you do that?
The cruise, Kayla, I think you were talking to me about this earlier. The cruise on this is about 40. Yeah, about 40 miles an hour. And so the gallons burned per hour with that was
27.
Yeah, it's like 27 gallons burned per hour at a clip of 40. So it gives us a pretty good sense. I mean, the cruise,
that's what's important is the cruise. Who cares if a boat is a little thing running at 80 miles an hour?
Right.
I can't run at 80 miles an hour in 8-foot seas.
Yeah. And
we're
not using this for the bass tournament.
No, it's not a bass.
That's not what we're used for. Okay, that's cool. So let's look at let's start to talk about what we're seeing from back to front. So if we look at the transom area here, what do we got going on here? It looks like we got, is it a storage area or a ladder?
So you've got your ladder there.
And then we've got the fish box here.
So that would be your live well
or fish box.
Okay, live well or fish box. One thing about this, as you're looking at it on the video right now, it is pretty deep. And it does seem to me like, in terms of total number of yellowfins, it looks like we could probably definitely get into double digits of yellowfins.
Yeah, and this isn't even our fish box.
Right.
Our fish boxes they're in the floor.
Right. So we got the fish boxes in the floor. Okay, so we got plenty of storage there. It can be used as either one of the two. Now, I'm not looking just right now at a ton of rod holders, but I'm guessing that's something that can be customized.
It was something we would have to do here in house.
Okay, that's something
we can do.
That you all could do if you wanted to. Is there anything else in terms of the stern area that the viewer should know that might set this apart as compared to other boats?
The transoms are pretty basic on boats all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a boarding ladder back here in case you do fall overboard, so you can get in. But other than that, I mean, there's no
pretty cut and dry.
There's no big secrets here in the back of the transom of a boat. I mean, they're all very similar. It just, what options, whether you're going to use this as a cooler or a live well. Yeah. We do have a hideaway seat here. We'll fold out.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this cockpit area, because I'm feeling this. It seems to me like more and more the center consoles are going towards that, like that rear facing, especially when you have the space to do it, which to me, this is kind of essential when you're offshore.
I agree.
Because this is my favorite place because I want to see the bite, right? I mean, that to me is like the magic is being able to watch the bite. Seems like we've got pretty good space. I like the fact that we do have the...
So this just lifts up.
Okay.
Push out and push down.
Okay.
So you got to see.
Oh yeah, pretty simple. Pretty easy on that.
So let me elaborate on one thing that y'all were kind of talking about the beginning. I'd like to jump in here on this line.
Yeah, please.
So you were asking me who was the boat for.
Yeah.
This is one of whalers where they really differ from a lot of people.
Okay.
And I've witnessed firsthand with my family, people we've sold boats to. The guys can get in this boat early in the morning, take it offshore, fish it hard, feed it up, drop their beer cans on the floor. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
All right. They can come back in, wash it, and the wives with their little sundresses on can hop on the boat. Everybody has comfortable seating.
Yes.
And you can take it to dinner. It's a family boat that can be taken out and fished as hard as anything else.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to find that. A lot of boats that are really hardcore fishing, they're very sparse on the interiors.
Right.
A lot of boats that are very, very plush, they're just not designed to do that. Whaler just always, and it's always been one of their core values, is they want something that can be dual purpose like that.
Yeah.
And they've done it. I mean,
it's not an all or nothing boat.
It's not an all or nothing boat. It can do a lot of different things for a lot of different types of people.
Okay. That's great to know, Clay. And that's actually a really good point that you make, because not every brand is like that.
That's right.
If you're looking at at a CV or like a yellowfin or something like that,
which are great boats. I'm not knocking.
Wonderful boats.
But they're fishing.
That's meant to go fishing.
That's right.
And it's not meant to to your point, take the ladies on a cruise. So we got this big apparatus opening in the middle here, and so let's talk about what our options are here, because it seems like we got a lot of space. One thing about this that immediately catches my attention is the access seems really good, because I don't know if you've never owned a boat, you probably have before if you're watching this, but maybe you haven't. Access is one of the biggest pains in the tail, and it seems like Boston Whaler actually thought about that in the manufacturing process.
Real quick about this little area right here, because of the way a Boston Whaler is constructed, we don't have a conventional bilge system that runs the full length of the boat. Meaning we don't have a lot of openings in the floor to mount a pump here, put this pump over here. So this is our equipment room. So everything that it takes to run this boat is right here.
Is
So
that
it makes
because
it
of the foam or?
Because of the foam injection.
Okay,
It's because of what makes it a unibody, and we can talk about that whenever you want, but that makes it very nice to work on because everything I need to work on this boat, every pump, power steering pump, it's right here.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in and out of. You see one big door. It makes it a whole lot nicer, especially for the techs. You know, when they're in and out of these things,
It's a really big deal.
servicing.
Of course, we got the table in here too, so this looks like this area can be converted into a dining hall, I guess, if we're looking at that. I'm guessing people are wondering about a Seakeeper. The Seakeeper, Kayla, goes where? How would it work?
So it would be underneath this area here.
Yeah, you would just lose your storage, I'm guessing. So right now it's storage. So we sacrifice the storage if we go with the Seakeeper. And like, I know some boats put it in the stern, but I heard from Seakeeper personally, like it tends to do better in this area anyway. So.
Seakeeper claims, and we're a Seakeeper dealer, so we've done installs with them as well. They claim you can put them anywhere in the boat.
They say you can.
And they'll work.
And what I don't understand is how they say you can put it off centered. And it's
I don't either. I've never done it. I've never done it.
That's the part I got to see that to believe it. Okay, so we've talked about this, and it looks like in terms of this seat, we've got additional storage in here as well.
Cooler.
Yep.
Storage. And then for the guy who wants to go out and fish and come on his bait,
Okay, sweet.
you got a nice platform, folds down here. It also comes with a little cutting board that slides right in here. So if you're cutting your bait, you don't have to worry about cutting it on the break.
That's smart. It's really simple. Looks easy to clean. Yeah, I'm feeling that. That's pretty effective, and it's pretty smart. Okay. And then we've got, it looks like,
Dual fish box.
yeah,
Now
big
these-
ones. I mean, as I'm looking at this right now, you're going to fit pretty much everything you could want except a giant bluefin in these. I mean, in terms of a yellowfin, you're going to, based on the storage that we're seeing. So there's plenty of storage for your catch. There's no question about that.
And those are macerated fish boxes.
Yeah, good point. Appreciate you pointing that out. All right, and then we've got this door that opens to the inside, of course, and this is something they didn't have for a long time. Like, Clay, when you started, this wasn't part of the game.
None of the models were having side doors at that point. And again, you got multiple uses for this. One, obviously, pull it to a floating dock, especially, it's really just you step on it off the thing, which that's really nice.
On a floating dock, that's freaking awesome.
Floating docks are great.
Yeah.
But you can use it to board a big fish. It also comes, you notice that stainless steel plate that's in the floor. This boat also has what's called a dive ladder. And so it's a very robust ladder that goes out that is for diving. You know, you got your flippers and stuff on.
Yeah.
It's a single ladder down the middle with rungs, makes it very easy to walk on. And then you can pull this handle out, and you got a handle to put yourself
that's
up
slick.
on the boat.
That's really, really slick. And to your point, if you went out and you get a giant bluefin, you're going to be able to fit any giant bluefin through that door.
Well, within reason, yeah. You know, probably not something I hope I could catch, but you know.
Yeah. Now, if you get 120 inches, you might, like the tail might be curled up a little bit in the boat, but it's going to be pretty righteous. We're going to get that 120 inches this coming winter, y'all. You're going to see the video. It's going to happen this next year. Okay, so let's move. What do you say to the helm area here? See what we've got here. Just my quick impressions. I mean, you know, typical Boston Whaler. Looks like we got, like, they don't shortchange the soft goods. It's like nice cushions.
Yeah, very plush, and you know, the ability to kind of, you know, have your lean and post versus, you know, seat.
And I will tell you one thing that customers, like when we go to a boat show, they do tend to ding us on this right off the bat.
Okay.
Until they understand why Whaler did it. Whaler is all about longevity. They're all about durability, safety, the things that they're most known for. So there's a lot of boat manufacturers out there now, and they make these seats, and they're all pleated and they're stitched, and they look great. They look like they came out of a Bentley, okay? The problem is, in the real world, you start putting all that stitching in the sun, salt gets down in it, it just don't last. A lot of people they'll ding us because they're like, well, it's just
it doesn't have all the...
It's not all fancy looking.
Right.
And they're right, it's not.
Right.
And there's a reason for that. Whaler didn't do this for any other reason than longevity.
And if you've ever replaced your soft goods before on a boat, I mean,
It's
what?
it's
It is.
pricey.
It is
Yeah.
so expensive, and so that's something to keep in mind. All right, electronics, y'all. Simrad, is that what Whaler always goes with?
Yes.
Are they a Simrad company?
Correct.
Yep.
So this boat comes standard with what? These are what? These I don't.
These are the 16-inch
16 inch.
screens.
So the standard boat, if you were to just buy the base boat, it doesn't come with anything. But we
Right.
can option it with 2 screens, 1 screen, different sizes, radar, not radar. You know, you pretty much have a open array of an electronics package you can put on it.
Is the joysticks? I can't remember. You said that was an option.
Yes.
All right, so the joystick is an option on this. Anything else in y'all's mind that we should, that is worthy of mentioning here?
You know, we do have a little bit of the glass panel look, which is just kind of nice. You know, that's one thing the Simrads allow us to do. It's just because it kind of that glass panel
It's very
look.
clean.
It's very clean. It's very nice. One thing that again, back to this being my favorite boat, one thing I really like about it, toggle switches. I know that might sound stupid in today's terms. Everybody wants to touch a screen.
Yep.
But I like old school toggle switches. You just push the button. You're not trying to find it on the screen.
I hate all the screen buttons
That's-
personally.
I know.
How do y'all feel about that? Tell us in the comments section if you like all those touch screen buttons or not. I know that's kind of where we're going, Clay, but
It is.
it drives me a little bit crazy because it's just so much easier.
It's easier. It's right
It
there.
is. And let's face it, as far as the customer's longevity of ownership, I can replace that toggle switch for about $10 probably.
Correct.
You know, if I got an electronic module that goes out, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I don't particularly love that so much. And so when I look at this, we got this ladder right here on both sides, your step up, and this opens up to if you want to do like you can put a tower up here.
It's more for maintenance than it is anything else. You know, Whaler doesn't offer a tower on this boat.
Okay, no towers on this boat. Got it.
They're pretty funny about you aftermarketing stuff. Like again, Whaler is so safety conscious. They've done the calculations for the center of gravity, and that's why they don't.
Yeah, I guess
Well, they don't put it.
a big effect on it.
Now, have I seen people do it? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Whaler didn't do it, but I've seen people do it. Well, right there, you were talking about the idea of offshore fishing. You like to sit around and look at your rods. So that's their trolling seats. That's exactly what they're for.
Oh, wow. So I can actually now have another
You can
stern facing.
one on each side.
Right.
So
Right. And I'm right here with this particular one, I'm just kind of like watching my lines over here. Yeah,
Correct.
that's just a nice little addition because otherwise, you go from having basically 2 people that can sit and be stern facing, and now we've got 4 that can be stern facing if you want to be. Okay, so let's move to the bow, and then we'll look at the console itself. Goes back to like what hits my impression here is, first of all, we got a lot of space and we got a big lounge. And to your like 50-50 boat, 50% fishing, 50%, just enjoying the evening. And so we got a great lounge, and I'm guessing we've got pretty significant storage underneath the lounge as well.
Oh yeah. So this is what they call the garage, and it's not for no reason. I mean, it's got tons of storage underneath here.
This is a lot of storage.
Yes,
A lot of
absolutely.
So instead of, let's say, hypothetically having any type of like bed or whatever in the console unit, we've got just more focus on the storage here, which actually, in my opinion, makes sense because I'd rather have storage than a bed that I'm, probably never going to use if I'm going offshore in this in a 33. But with that being said, it looks like you can pretty much put anything in this, and we've got the table storage, which I'm guessing we put right
Be here.
Yeah.
You could see this little mounting bracket here.
So we put it right
So
here.
that's where the table would go. And then you can see down in there, you can actually put your rods in there, and they go all the way through.
So oh wow,
So if you have a longer rod,
yeah,
it will stick into your head area a little bit.
sure.
But head area is so big, they only stick out just a little bit.
But those little black things, I guess, kind of catch it and like hold it and
do.
protect it
Yeah,
from
and it's
from
got
getting
butt
knocked
holders
around.
back here. You just can't see them because the cover's sitting on top of them. But there's butt holders here to put the butt of the rod here. Tip of it goes up there.
Yeah.
Then you can close this. You can lock it, and then your rods are safe.
All right, so before we finish up here, let's look at the console, the center console itself, because inquiring minds want to know. So it looks to me like we've got pretty decent clearance. So the headspace looks like we got about 5 feet 10 inches in here because I'm about 5'11", so it's barely touching me. Plenty of just general space though within the console in terms of just comfort. Nice looking setup here.
Notice that's where we store that dive ladder we were talking about. You can see it right now.
Yeah, so we've got the dive ladder in here. So just overall, I mean, we've got a nice head. Simple sink. We've got some more storage. And this sounds like a silly question, but on the John, there's like this huge like lever that you step on. What is that? I've never seen that before.
So this boat is running what's called a vacuum flush toilet system. And the way a vacuum flush system works is when you turn it on, there's a tank in the boat that pulls gently. Okay. You ever use an airplane? Same type.
Same concept. Okay.
So when you're ready to use it, you turn it on, flip draws vacuum, and then you got that big foot pedal. So if you lift up on that foot pedal, it's going to put water in the mold. So it'll be just like your toilet at home. Once you use it, you step on it, sucks everything out. It recharges itself. It's ready for the next person. It is flushing off of fresh water as well, which is a whole lot better than a saltwater flush toilet smell.
Yeah.
So it's a really great toilet. Vacuum flush is probably about the best you can.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. I don't have that. I know on our boat Speechless, our system, because it's got that different type of pump that
you probably got
already replaced it twice.
Yeah.
We've had it As we're wrapping up here, guys, let's get to the meat and potatoes. All right, which is, folks watching, one thing that drives me crazy when I'm researching boats is when they say call for price, and because who wants to call for the price? Right. So I want to at least give our viewers a sense of MSRP. What are we looking at? And you can go from where it starts, because we know if we have features, it's gonna always increase it. But what are we looking at there, Kayla? Do you got some numbers for us?
So yeah, you'll be starting right around 401,000.
Okay.
Base boat, and then adding your options,
Yeah, wherever you want to go.
What you want, go however you want to get it.
And that's MSRP. And there's always room on that. Sometimes the manufacturer's offering incentives. Sometimes us as a dealer, we offer incentives.
Yeah.
But MSRP, and the reason why I will say this, reason why you do see a lot of call for prices is because the manufacturers will not allow the dealers to post.
Which the manufacturers need to fix that, y'all.
It's all their fault.
I think that is. But we're changing that in the industry. We're changing that. Okay. We're fixing that because it is 2024. Let's be honest. Okay. So this was great. So just as a review, it looks to me like we've got in your words, Clay, because you own this boat, it's
just a very well-balanced boat.
Just a well-balanced,
perfectly balanced in every
perfectly balanced boat. And I know if you're watching this, you might say, well, he's biased, but listen, I know this guy, and he knows more about, boats than, like he's forgotten more about boats than most of us, could ever really know. And I know you call it for what it is. And if you say that, I believe that's true. And so we've got a boat here that can appeal to the social side of things, that can definitely be offshore, high quality, but also not too many gadgets to make it overly aggressive.
Yes.
There's some whaler boats that I think are too gadgety, in my opinion.
A lot of stuff on boat, and I'm very old school, and even the joystick to me, I know if I was buying the boat, I wouldn't put a joystick in. If you want to know the truth, I wouldn't do it. But I'm used to using sticks, so that has a lot to do with it. But unfortunately, look at cars today. I mean, they're trying to make them drive themselves. So the more gadgets that technology is putting out, the consumers are asking for it. And if the consumers are asking for it, the manufacturers are going to deliver. And yes, there's more and more stuff going in boats, which truthfully, I don't care whose name's on the side of it.
Yeah.
The more stuff you put on it, the more chances are something can break. It's going to happen. Okay. It's just going to happen. This boat is like the last one in size wise before we start getting into all the gadgets. That doesn't mean you can't option them out, but most people don't. They want to, how much stuff can I pile in? more. Whatever the consumer wants is what's right. So
that's right.
We put on the boats what they want.
This was really helpful. And hopefully now you have a sense for the 33 Outrage. You've got a sense for how much it costs. We've talked about who's it for, who's it not for, really, that super hardcore, angler that's just looking to only go for the big ones offshore. If you're looking for the great mix, you got it. we want to thank our friends here at Chesapeake Boat Basin right here in Kilmarnock, Virginia. This is kind of like my hometown. This is Northern Neck, so I get fired up, you know, and a lot of dealers out there, they're like hesitant. We'll call them and say, hey, can we come out? They're hesitant. These guys, they just said, come on out. And, you know, we'd love to work with you and in your community here at Saltwater Fishing University. And so make sure you check them out. If you're in this area and you're looking for a Boston whaler, make sure, or just a great boat in general, make sure you come to Chesapeake Boat Basin. Until the next time, everyone, stay salty.